Finally, after months of zero stock of the Asics top of the range super shoes and super trainers, they just dropped some new colourways of what I consider the very best super shoes and super trainers on the market today. And I managed to pick up a pair of the new Metaspeed Edge Paris in this new much sexier electric colourway, and knowing how difficult it's likely to be to get hold of them, I've also ordered a pair of the Metaspeed Sky Paris in the electric colourway too, which will hopefully be delivered to me in the next few days. They also made available this new colourway of the amazing Superblast 2 in this greyish purple colourway, which I've picked up as a rather special Christmas present for my eldest son Josh. But in this video I'm going to focus on the Metaspeed Edge Paris, as well as give you some thoughts about my experience in the other pair that I own here and why I consider these to still be the best carbon plated super shoe on the market today. Now, an interesting opinion from some ShoeTube reviewers out there is that the Sky Paris is better than the Edge Paris, and that the Sky is the faster of the two. Well, I can't comment on that yet, but I will do a comparison video when I've had the chance to run several times in the Sky when they arrive. But what I will say is that if that's the case, then why does Eilish McColgan, an Asics sponsored world-class athlete, wear the Edge over the Sky? If somebody who runs a half marathon in 1 hour and 5 minutes thinks that the Edge is faster and a more capable super shoe, then I think that's probably a better endorsement of how good they are than a YouTube reviewer like me. First, let's take a look at this new electric colourway, which in my opinion is a much nicer colourway than what we had before with the safety yellow and red. The white is actually more of a white blue rather than a brilliant white. The black Asics logo goes extremely well with the electric pink on the outside of the midsole, and the yellow on the inside of the midsole is actually the exact same yellow used on the previous version, as you can see here. I purchased my new pair in the UK in a size 10, which weighs in an astonishingly light 204 grams. This new pair also cost me 220 Great British pounds. I've not had a chance to run outside in this colourway yet, as we've had some horrible storms hit in the UK recently, and I didn't want to get these new ones filthy on the first run. So instead I did a quick 4-mile run on my Peloton treadmill, and they, like the other pair that I own, basically took no time to break in whatsoever. Although I've not had a chance to do too many miles in this new colourway, I have had the chance to do a number of runs and races and training runs in my safety yellow pair, totaling around 120 miles so far. I've used them actually quite sparingly because I didn't know how long it would be before I'd have the chance to get another pair, given the challenge in supply levels from Asics, which frustrates so many Metaspeed and Superblast 2 fans. What I can say as somebody who owns the Alphafly 3, the Vaporfly 3, New Balance Elite 4, the Adidas Prime Strung 2, and I've run in the Adidas Adizero Pro 3, that in my opinion the Metaspeed Paris leads the pack for quality and performance. The build quality is exceptional, and the Asics grip on the bottom is fantastic. I've run several 10k races recently, and the first being in decent weather on a very windy course with loads of sharp turns, and the Edge holds up really well to cornering. They aren't as stable as something like the New Balance Supercomp Elite, for example, that has a much wider heel area, but the balance that you get from the Edge Paris seems to be a really good balance between stability and nimbleness, and it really works very well. Now, given that I'm a midfoot striker and at times when I'm fatigued even a heel striker, there are little to no signs of wear, which is incredible given that I've done over 120 miles in these already. I also wore this pair for a 10k race in absolutely terrible conditions of heavy rain and wind around a motor circuit here in the UK called Goodwood, and I actually managed to get my 10k PB in that. The grip was great and the material in the upper wicked away water really well. I didn't feel like there was any build up at all of water in the shoe while I was running. The FF Turbo Plus midsole together with the full length carbon plate delivers a firm yet bouncy ride that hasn't dulled at all in the miles that I've done so far in this pair. The low carbon plate design of the plate and insanely lightweight nature of the Edge does a great job of turning you over in your stride efficiently, quickly, and almost feels effortlessly at times. The upper quality is excellent with little to no signs of wear so far. The tongue is very minimal, pretty much just a piece of leather material, but it does the job. The lacing system is great, easily achieving a firm lockdown with no heel slip at all. The laces are ridged like they are with the Vaporfly or Alphafly if you've ever run in those, which means that it's very easy to get a firm lockdown, and once they're tied up, it's incredibly unlikely that they will ever come undone unintentionally. In terms of wear, I can see a small amount of fraying coming from the bottom of the red painted section, which based on other reviews that I've seen seems to be commonplace. It doesn't impact the performance of these super shoes at all. Like most carbon plated super shoes out there, they are not cheap. But at 220 Great British pounds, they are at the more reasonable end compared to most of the other alternatives. The quality is second to none, and the performance in my opinion is still best in class, even though we've had a bunch of new super shoes released since these were released at the early part of the year. As previously mentioned, I've not had a chance to run in the Metaspeed Sky Paris yet, but as soon as they're delivered and I've had a chance to do some running in that, I expect similar results, albeit with the different and flatter plate design, which is said to be much more like the Alphafly, which I'll get on well with, whereas this Edge is much more like the Vaporfly 3 if you've run in them. So for me and my specific circumstances, spending another 220 Great British pounds on this new, much better looking colourway was an easy choice, giving me a new 10k to half marathon shoe of choice and allowing me to use the safety yellow version for more of my training and tempo efforts to train for the races that I will have coming up. I expect the Sky Paris will quickly become an excellent alternative to the Alphafly 3 for anything above a half marathon for me also. So for me, I strongly recommend the Metaspeed Edge Paris as still the best carbon plated racing shoe for your money, for your fast and PB attempts and your runs and races, for anything between 10k and a half marathon. And if you can get hold of a pair, especially in this new colourway, then you should snap it up straight away before they go out of stock again, which will no doubt happen, as it always does, to the best-selling Asics running shoes. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you've got the time and enjoyed the video, and see you on the next one.